Hello, and welcome back to Resident Evil 1 Remake. So, last time we got down here, we found ourselves in a cave system, and we don't really know why we're here, we're just kind of exploring. Everything seems to be leading down here into the deep, dank, disgustingly wet caves, and we found ourselves at an impasse here, where there's a huge hole in the floor, and we can't get by. But there is a place for a hexagonal crank in the wall. We have a crank, but it's not the correct one. We have a square crank and we did the hexagonal one. So, we're gonna go find that new crank. And I said the word crank way too many times. Crank. Lots of cranks. Lots of cranks in Resident Evil games. They're kind of obsessed in a way. Ooh, let's put that away for now. We're gonna need this later. It's very important. Yeah, Resident Evil kind of obsessed with cranks. Some of them take it way too far. I think Code Veronica has... I don't want to think about it. There's too many cranks. It's bad enough that there's two in this game. So, that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to find another crank. Let's have a look around here. Compassion down there. What's up here, though? Ah. That is a very round boulder. A large boulder blocks the way. There are bloodstains underneath the boulder. Clearly a part of another elaborate trap of this bizarre mansion estate. That's a little bit of a clue telling you that there's... Watch out for the boulders. Something's gonna happen with that, so keep an eye out for that. It's just an early warning to let you know if you see something like this, be wary. And we have in here another hole. A huge gaping hole. I wonder what it was dug for. Some kind of elevator or mine shaft. And there's some handgun bullets, thank you. Creepy music's coming in, suddenly. Disconcerting. What's this machinery down here? Aha. Elevator's power source. There's a round lid. Open it. Okay, there is a shaft. Now, we don't have the second part of this, so I'm going to leave this in here, but it is interesting to see that there seems to be something like Roman numerals there. So we need to find a second part that completes the other side of those Roman numerals. I'm just going to leave that in there now. We don't need to carry that around with us. And have an explorer down here, because I saw a door and something shiny in the water. More handgun bullets. Sure. I feel like at this page, I tend not to use the handgun from here on out. But we'll see. I might have to use it in a bit. Lots of random cables and stuff. How... I can't suspect that wood is very safe. Because this place is... Ooh.
Is that you, Jill?
Is that voice Enrico's?
Enrico.
You're alive.
Stop! Are you with anybody, Jill?
No, but why?
The stars are finished. Someone is a traitor.
Probably that guy.
Umbrella set us up.
Enrico!
Right to the heart.
Traitor? Who?
A traitor in stars. Now, because of the note that we found last time in the room with the eagle statue puzzles, we found a note that basically described the plan of bringing the STARS team to the mansion. As part of a combat experiment, they wanted to pit the highly trained STARS professionals against whatever BOWs they had here for what is known as, the game refers to it as combat data. They basically want to be able to use the data in more experiments, but probably to show governments, countries, organizations, like, here's what it can do. So this is, again, we're in a place that was about experiments, and this whole game is kind of an experiment with us at the center. Whoever did this is definitely a professional. Wait, he's holding something. He's holding a crank. So obviously Enrico was down here trying to find his way through the caves too. He found the crank, but was attacked by something. If you look very closely on his leg, there was a cut. Some kind of cut on his leg. Obviously wounded him enough so he couldn't move around as freely. And then ultimately was shot in the chest by unknown perpetrator and traitor. So, we have the crank, so let's head back over to the hole next to the save point. Whoa! That probably... Yep, let's go. That's probably the thing that got Enrico. I'm just gonna leave. Because we're not going in there anymore. No point in wasting the ammo finishing it off when it can't do us any harm anymore. Just blast it once and run past it. Let's head back to that crank spot. So, now there's hunters down here. The implication being whoever the traitor is has unleashed the hunters in this area. Almost right on cue to kill Jill. Uh-oh. Kill him. There. Okay. Right. Good. I think they're dead now. We got it this time. Yay. I'm kind of sad that they didn't decapitate me, because I haven't got to show that off. But like I said before, if you're like, I think it's yellow caution, might be orange caution or below, they have a move where it's a very clear animation. They throw their hand to the side, almost like unleashing their claws, and they jump and slash you across the throat, and it's an instant kill. That's what makes them incredibly dangerous to deal with. So, yeah. Right, I am, for no particular reason, don't put too much thought into this, I'm just gonna grab my rocket launcher, grenade launcher even, and put some incendiary rounds in, you know, just for fun. We haven't used it yet. I mean, no, we have actually. We haven't used the flame rounds yet. So I'm just gonna, for no reason at all, just equip that, don't worry about it. We'll go over here and use our new crank. Now, I don't even begin to understand the logistics of how this works. George Trevor was a madman. That's if he was responsible for designing the cave. I don't know if he was. He designed the mansion. I don't know about the rest of the grounds. Herb. How is that herb? That herb's not getting much light. I guess there's the bulb up there. Is that providing enough light for the herb? Maybe. Okay. So there's an interesting thing here. It doesn't really apply to Jill's campaign, but there's this thing on the wall. It works as a lock. We'll see it later. That's more of a Chris campaign thing, and I think it's introduced better in his campaign. It sets it up better. Let's have a look down here. Ooh. No, can't go that way. Right, let's go this way. Oh, that's a big round boulder. That's an Indiana Jones special right there. A huge boulder blocks the way. Well, we're stuck. Oh no. You all know what's coming up next. Let's go. Yep. Good combat roll. So there we go. We have the boulders now. It was hinted at before when we saw the big boulder that talked about the bloodstains underneath it. That's your hint to tell you, watch out for these, it's dangerous. Take the shotgun shells, good. Right, now let's head down, because that boulder actually knocked through the wall, which lets us get into here. Into these big double doors. Maybe there was a cave collapse and we couldn't get through there anymore, but the boulder's now cleared it out. Oh, hi. Oh, no. That's a big spider. That's a very big spider. Ooh. Ooh. Dodge it. There we go. Oh. Oh, there's a second spider. Hang on, let me use my shotgun for this. Get down. And that's why we brought the grenade launcher. Now, if you look very closely, you can actually see tiny spiders have crawled out from the big one. I mean, they're still big. But yeah. Ooh. None of that. You can actually squish them. There we go. That's a neat detail. I don't know if that's a neat detail, actually. Just... where... I think... now if something's spitting acid at me somewhere, and I don't know where it is, so we should just leave. Oh, the spider's underneath the ground. Look closely at Jill's feet. You can see the spider's legs pop out. I've never seen that before. That's a new bug. Well, it's a spider, not a bug. Yeah, the spider's underneath the ground. So I must have shot it and it fell through the scenery. Well, as long as it can't hurt me. I've never seen that before. That's the first time it's ever happened. So, go over to this door. Huge spider web blocks the door. Fortunately, the devs were nice enough to put a knife over there so we can just cut that away. You can just shoot them. If you shoot it with shotgun, it's going to break it, but if we want to save some ammo, we can use the knife. I've never seen a spider fall through the scenery like that before. That's fun. Map. Map of the courtyard. Alright, so that's where the elevator was. We still got stuff to do there, and there's only a couple more rooms up ahead to explore. Let's take the blue herb. The blue herbs are here just in case you get poisoned by the spiders, but we didn't get bit or anything, so we're fine, but I'll take one anyway. Why not? Still a healing item. Let me get my shotgun back out. Let's see. No, that's a dead end. Aha! We have another abyss. So let's use the crank here. I don't know how any of this works. Magic. Let's just say magic. Virus-based magic. But in order to get over here, we need to rotate it all the way around because there's a little hidden door to our left here. As you can see from the camera change and the ominous boulder in the distance, we're going to have to move. Now, unlike the last one, we need to run forward into this little alcove. As soon as we exit out of this, there we go. Run. There we go. That can be very disorientating when you're playing this for the first time. It's very easy to get confused and go the wrong way, for instance. But you just need to walk forward a bit. Oh look, first aid kit. Right, let's go into this hidden little alcove, which has a door, which leads to a room where we need to find an item. I don't particularly like this room. I feel like it's one of the weakest rooms in the game, and the reason why... Essentially, it's a puzzle room. We're here to solve a puzzle to get an item. But the other rooms in the game were implemented in a lot more interesting way. Like, the room with the armor that you have to move... You have the suits of armor that you have to move back and forward in a certain order to open the thing. That's believable in a certain way because... You know, eccentric mansion owner has suits of armor everywhere. Okay, sure, he's into medieval stuff. That has a purpose. The piano puzzle where we play Moonlight Sonata. That's in a bar. There's like drinking. There's like bar there. There's where you drink. Someone's maybe play. That makes sense as context for why it's there. But this room has no other purpose. It's just here to be a puzzle room. So. It kind of feels like busy work. And you can argue, well, you know, a lot of these puzzles are busy work at the end of the day. But I feel like they're implemented and are built into the world in a lot more interesting way than this is. Because what other purpose does this room serve? Apart from being a puzzle room. Rotate the Jill. It's just kind of here. And this is all it does. Which is unfortunate. That's why I think this is the the weakest room. I always prefer it when survival horror games kind of implement their puzzles in... Well, how would you describe it? An interesting, well thought out way, like it makes sense in the context. Of course, a lot of these Resident Evil puzzles are just weird, and I'm just like, why would you make your building like this? Imagine working here, it'd be a nightmare just going to the toilet. Oops, not quite there. Yeah. A little bit over there. Yeah, so we just need to get this statue into this hole. And that's it. Yeah, it's just kind of a... It's a boring room. It's got this in the middle, which if you step on, you rotate, which is kind of fun. Is that what this room is for? People come in here to be rotated? It's very much a puzzle room. And it serves no other purpose, so it feels... I don't want to say lazy. It feels unimaginative, maybe. There needs to be something else there to kind of explain why it exists, but there really isn't. It's just, oh, here's a puzzle room to do the puzzle. Which is unfortunate. Because I feel like most of the other puzzles, I'm trying to think of any other ones that don't really make sense. I mean, there's the masks in the crypt, but at least there's the Crimson Head in there, so it's kind of like a mini boss fight arena kind of thing. And that's just gameplay-wise. But there's also, like, story there, too. There's a little bit more going on than nothing at all, which is the problem with that room. There's just nothing there. Alright. Tirade over. I talked all about that stuff and I didn't even talk about what we got. We got the cylinder, which is the other part of the key that makes the elevator work. And as you can see, there's Roman numerals. So we need to go connect those two together to get the elevator working. Right. Let's go over to that control panel / battery, whatever this is. Cylinder shaft has been inserted. Let's take the shaft out and then combine it with our cylinder. And we can examine it. And if you look around here, we'll rotate it just to show it off. You can see the Roman numerals on the side. So if you rotate this to where they line up, you'll get a code. And we need to input that code into the machine. Obviously, if you know your Roman numerals, you can probably suss this out by just looking at either one. It's fairly obvious what they are. So the code is 4231. So, put this in. A series of flashing buttons. Press 1. So 4, 2, 3, and 1. Looks like the power has been restored. There we go. The elevator, which is chain operated apparently. That doesn't seem safe. Alright. If you look closely in the background, actually, you can see where the chain pulley system is. It's actually some great attention to detail showing you how this mechanism actually works. You see all the chains up above there. That's cool. That's a really cool detail. They didn't have to do that. I appreciate that they did, though. There's an elevator switch. Press it. Yeah.
Jill.
Barry?
Oh, hey, Barry.
God, you're safe.
We haven't seen you in a
You
bit.
too, Jill. A noise I heard brought me down here, but
Which noise?
expect to find a place like this.
There's a number of noises you could have heard, like boulders, a giant spider
Any idea as
exploding,
to what might be at the bottom?
Enrico being
There's only
shot.
one way to find out.
Oh, by the way, Enrico's dead. I forgot to mention that. He was your friend and everything. Yeah, we should probably mention that. Alright, down we go, deeper into the dankness. There's a familiar sound.
What the hell is that sound? It could be a person. Jill, go check it out.
Why me?
We had enough surprises for one day. I'll stay here and secure our escape route in case something happens.
Okay. Can I talk to him again? Sometimes you can talk to them again to get more dialogue.
I'll stay and secure our escape route.
Right. Gotcha. Right. So, it's been a while, but that noise might sound familiar. I think it's probably been long enough that you might not recognize it at this point in the game. Spooky music. So whatever that noise was came from down here. and whatever it is just walked through a door somewhere. It's somewhere. Which way do we go? I guess I'll go down here. Whoa! Okay, it was closer than I thought. So, that thing, you may remember, we saw that the shack out in the woods. That was just outside the mansion. This creature, how much damage? Did quite a bit of damage there. This creature. Oh boy. I finally get to talk about this creature. This is... She's very angry. This is a completely new entity creature. This is completely new to the Resident Evil 1 remake. This was not in the original Resident Evil at all. And I absolutely love this inclusion because it's so well thought out in pretty much every aspect. The backstory is well fleshed out. It incorporates itself into the game and into other games in the series. Let's get some good shots. Oh, you can see her face there. Ooh, hang on, don't want to go too far. We can get some proper good shots because last time we couldn't really see her well because we just ran out of there because it was a very dangerous place to be, because if she hits you, she does a lot of damage. If you look at it closely, she's all manacled up. She's all chained up, implying that she's been chained to a wall somewhere and kept prisoner. And you can see that she's wearing the skin of people's faces all over her body. Go down. Oh, she stopped. Her limbs are like way too long. There's something... Everything about this creature design is so fantastic. And it only gets more interesting the more we go through the game. Let's see if we can get a shot of the back. Yeah, you can see that face there. So yeah, she basically... This is almost like a mini stalker, like Mr. X or Nemesis. She is something that will follow us around, but it's more contained within certain areas. It's almost like a prototype, but it came after Mr. X and Nemesis, so it's a miniature version of that one. But regardless, very interesting creature. We'll get more into her backstory later on and talk about her design and stuff and how it incorporates itself into not only this game, but future games in an interesting way. There is hidden items up here. I don't know if many people know about this, but yeah, if you climb these boxes, you can find some ammo. Obviously, if you're paying attention to your map, you'll see that it would be red, so there's items in here. So, yeah, you just climb up this, and you get some ammo. There we go. Big box. And if there's a big box, it means we need to push it. Why? Who knows, but it's there. So let's push it onto this elevator, transporter, gondola thing. This will all make sense in a while, and I'll actually show you why it makes sense in a bit. There we go. Right, let's press that big flashy button. Device for transporting materials. There we go. We'll send that on its way. This will all make sense eventually. But for now, we need to head back into that corridor where that creature is. We quickly look at the map. You can see that the area is basically a giant circle. So she's very slow, so you can kite her around a bit. She does have kind of a lunge attack, but it's rare. You don't see it that often. But in general, she's quite slow. But she does, if she tries an attack, she does have a wide hitbox. And it will do a lot of damage if it hits you, because she hits you with the big wrist block thing. I don't know what that's called. Ooh, okay, there she is. She's actually, that's the way I want to go. You look at her back, you can see all the boils and lumps and stuff. That will take note of the thing on her back, because that comes up in her visual design later on, and it's very interesting because it will be reminiscent of something in Resident Evil 2, which we'll get into. Right, so we need to get through this door, but it's locked. There is a device over here, some kind of mechanical hook. The hook is stuck in the hole. We need to put something in there to open that door. But there's another... She's ready. She's going for me. All right, you know what? Let's leave. Let's go back to Barry. Maybe he'll know something. Barry, don't go in here. This is a very dangerous creature. Although, technically, I think he knows about it. He did mention a bulletproof creature, I think, if I'm remembering right. So he might know about this. We'll see. Hey, Barry, you'll never guess what I saw. Oh. There's no way back. Barry, why? So, Barry has just betrayed us. He's left us down here with that creature because I guess he knows it's down here or something. So he's left us down here to die. Maybe. Let me just dump some stuff out of here. Put my magnum rounds together. Well, they will keep a health item on us just in case. Like I said, that creature can really do some damage. Right, there's that box. So, let's continue the pushing. We'll get it off here, because it's down here for a reason. And if we push it over into this corner, we'll see why. So you can see there is some kind of garbage compactor. So we can use that, a little bit more. We can use that to break open the box and get whatever's inside. There. Garbage compactor. Let's press the switch. There we go. Pretty good animation there where you can see it lowering and eventually like struggling and then give up as the box, like go faster as the box collapses. There's a flamethrower in that box, but unfortunately for us, it is not a usable flamethrower because it is a broken flamethrower. It obviously got crushed while the compactor was compacting. Let's have a look at it. The muzzle is broken, it can't be fired, so it's not a weapon. It is a key, which is weird. What happens if we use it? No. So, in order to get through that locked door, we need to put that flamethrower onto the hooks. It's kind of reminiscent of what the shotgun, where we got the shotgun, it was lying on hooks, so it was like weighted. So we need to go do that to open the door, which means going back into the cave hallway with that creature. There's one more thing we need to do. Alright, where is she? Problem is she continues to wander around. So she could be either direction. There she is. Good. Right, I'm going to slowly kite her up this way. Here she comes. Because I need her up here so I can run around to get down to that door. Why she stopped. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe she's a bit too close. Alright, if we pull that, the hooks come out and we can go place the flamethrower on there. It's gonna run past her. Yeah, first time doing this, it's very confusing. That's why you should consult your map to get a vague idea of what the layout is. Because it can be very confusing and you can run into her a lot. Right. Let's get through this door. I like that big dent. Big dent in the door. Alright. Here we go. Creepy. That's a lot of dolls. The fire's died out, but it shows signs of use. The desk is cluttered with old beat-up dolls and used candles. A huge collection of various kinds of dolls. They're all faded and worn. I guess the implication is this creature has been living down here. Possibly this is where she's been kept over the years. In fact, if we go around here, you can see right there on the wall, there's some manacles, some chains. So this could be where she was being kept. But one of the more interesting part is, that's a lot of dolls. Like, that's a lot of dolls. And they seem to be very, very old. So the implication being is she was kept down here and possibly people have been looking after her. People have been giving her dolls to keep her occupied. because there's no other way she'd be able to get those. So someone's been giving them to her, which is really messed up. And now we have to go into the horrible water. Ugh. Oh no, the snakes. Get away from the snakes, I don't want to be poisoned. Ooh. Well, if this wasn't so creepy, it would be downright cozy. This bed is still warm. So that means that creature was lying in this bed. So there's some kind of... It's not a mindless zombie. There's some kind of thought. There's intelligence there. But it's warped probably from... God only knows how many years down here. A bunch of photographs featuring a young girl, depicting various scenes from her upbringing. This looks like a family photo. The mother and daughter seem to be pretty close. Take the jewelry box. Okay, just open that up normally. Yep. Aha. You got this stone ring. We also got a family picture and notes. There's something written on the back. November 10th, 1967. Progenitor virus administered. Jessica, administered virus type A. Plasmalizing of tissue during cell activation. Virus fusion negative. Action disposed. Lisa, administered virus type B. Plasmalizing of the tissue during cell activation. Virus fusion positive but delayed fusion. Body modification. Observed constant results. Status continue protective observation. George, action terminated November 30th, 1967. There's a journal left by someone. November 14th, 1967. I feel dizzy after the shot they give me. I don't see Mom. Where did they take her? She promised that we would escape together. Did she escape alone and leave me behind? November 15th. I found Mom. We ate together. I was very happy. But she was a fake, not my real mom. Same face, but different inside. Have to find Mom. Have to give face back to Mother. I got Mom's face back. Nobody can have my mom except me. I attach her face to me so she doesn't go away. Because Mom's sad when I meet her without her face. November 17th, 19... something. That could be 1987, 1997, something a long time later. From inside box, scent of mommy. Maybe true mother there. Stone box hard, it hurt. Steel rope in the way. Can't see mother because 4 stones. Now there's a lot going on here. This is basically the backstory of that creature we just saw. Let's go all the way back to the start. So, at some point, these two people were experimented on using the progenitor virus. The progenitor virus is the original virus that came before the T-virus. T-virus was made after, so this is before the T-virus was made. So this is the original virus. They injected it into Jessica, but apparently it didn't work, it didn't fuse. So they disposed of her. Something went wrong in the experiment, it didn't work, so I'm going to assume they just killed her. The word disposed makes me think they killed her and got rid of the body. But with Lisa, apparently it worked. Positive but delayed fusion. So the fusion of the virus to her body worked, but it took a long time to fully form. So as you can see, for the body modification, observed constant results. Continue protective observation. So that creature, Lisa, is the daughter of George Trevor, the guy who designed and built the mansion. You remember earlier before we found notes from George Trevor talking about Jessica and Lisa. Basically, Umbrella hired George to make the mansion. They killed him because they wanted no one else to know all the secrets. Because he would know where all the traps and all the puzzles and stuff were. They killed him, and then they kidnapped his family. And then did horrible experiments on them. And that's what's happened to Lisa here, his daughter. She's been probably down here since 1967. So 30 odd years. And you can see as the text slowly deteriorates, she's been here for a long time. And they've probably been doing experiments on her for years, because whatever change has happened has been very slow. And the implication is, we see it, if you try and fight her, she'll take shots, but she won't die. The implication is she is, whatever they've done to her has made her into a state where she is nigh invincible, indestructible almost, which, if you remember games later on, Resident Evil 3 particularly, that is a little bit of a connection, but we'll get into that later. She's basically indestructible, and they have this creature where they can basically throw whatever they want at her, and she'll live through it. So she's almost like the perfect guinea pig. And obviously, as she's gotten older, mutated more, she's become more and more unhinged. Her mind has kind of corrupted, as you can see through how the text is conveyed. There's a very clear deterioration, much like the Keeper's Diary we saw before with the person turning into a zombie, the deterioration of the mind. But there's still enough intelligence there that she knows certain things. She lies in a bed, she lights a fire, so there's intelligence there, but it's deteriorated over the years. Now this last part's very interesting. From inside box, scent of mommy. Maybe true mother there. Stone box hard, it hurt. Steel rope in the way. Can't see mother because 4 stones. That's a clue to something later on in the game, but it's a very important clue to take note of. So yeah, this poor girl has been kept down here for decades, being experimented on, and like just tied up at some point, probably because she got too dangerous and they couldn't control her. Obviously, using the fake mother, they tried to manipulate her and tried to control her. Maybe that's what the dolls are around. They give her dolls and picture of her family to try and control her for all the ease of experimentation, but because of the degradation of her mind, it's no longer effective, so they've probably just shackled her to a wall somewhere. I mean, we saw shackles back in the other room, but you know, probably after years she's managed to escape. She hasn't got the shackles off completely, they're still attached to her, but she's wandering around these caves now. I guess people have just forgotten about her. The timeline's unclear when she escaped. It could have been recently. It doesn't matter ultimately at the end of the day. But yeah, this is a very tragic story, and the way it's incorporated into this game and future games is a very interesting way. It's probably one of my favorite features because it really adds this level of a kind of level of humanity that the original Resident Evil was missing. You didn't get to see this kind of personal horror outside of the Keeper's Diary, where he describes slowly turning into a zombie, losing his mind and stuff like that. This really shows how kind of unnecessarily evil Umbrella is. Like, they killed a guy, kidnapped his family to do experiments on them, probably so they wouldn't ask questions, really. But it just seems so unnecessarily evil, and it's just that little bit of personal horror. I know it's not happening to the characters, but it is a type of personal horror because it's happening to what is essentially an innocent child. So I think it adds a whole new layer of horror to the whole experience that was not present in the first game. It's such a good addition to this remake. So, you recognize this place. This is the shack out in the woods that we originally saw Lisa Trevor the first time when she attacked us. Remember, she walked through this door here, and we got just a tiny glimpse of her. And then she attacked us, probably, if I was to hazard a guess, probably to take our face. Because she seems to have developed a psychological need to rip people's faces off and attach them to her body. Because she believes they're her parents' faces. Alright. So, we now have the stone and metal object. We're not sure what to do with this yet. It's a key to another location, but ages ago, way ages ago to get to the courtyard, we had another one of these things. We need to go collect that now. So as you can see here, she's intelligent enough to light a fire, which is quite intelligent when you think about it, especially from what is essentially a child who's been living here for 30 years, tortured, experimented on. Horrible things happening. It's a very different kind of creature to what we've seen so far as well. Right, let's run back to the mansion and avoid that zombie. I kind of wish there was more stuff in the woods. I really like spooky woods like this. Especially in the fixed camera angle variety. So yeah, that's Lisa Trevor. We're gonna... It still isn't... It isn't over, by the way. We're still gonna learn a lot more about her as the game progresses, because that's not the last we've seen of her, unfortunately, for us and her. But it's just an incredibly sad story. And I feel like it adds so much to the game and the experience in general. And it just... When you boil it all down, it's just creepy. And it gets creepier as it goes on. There's something about having a creature like that that's capable of a level of intelligence, especially in a game where we've been fighting zombies. There's zero intelligence there. It's just pure instinct that they're running on. This creature has an intelligence, and it has a goal. It's horrible. It's a horrible goal, and it doesn't hold up to, how should I put it, a sane being. But she has a goal. She wants to rip her face off. And that's disturbing in its own right. Okay, we should take... Let's take the shortcut. We'll go through here and take a shortcut to the main hall. Just because it's going to be quicker. And we can avoid all the other hallways, which... I don't remember if there's zombies in them, because it's been a long time since I last went through those hallways. But I know these hallways are nice and clear, so... We can get through here and go to the main hall. Through the graveyard. Did I show off? Oh, you know what? I don't think I ever showed off the gate behind the stairs, did I? Damn. I'll do that for the Chris playthrough. Down we go. If I do a Chris playthrough, it's probably going to be more upfront with the game spoilers. I'm trying to talk about the story and stuff as I play it in this one, but with a Chris playthrough, it'll be like everything's just straight away up front with it. There's an octagonal indentations to the right and left of the door. So that's where these little emblem things go. There we go. Now, if I'd come down here at the beginning of the game and investigate this door, you actually hear Lisa Trevor way before you see her, which is an interesting... It's when you play it for the first time, it's like, oh, there's a creepy noise. I wonder what that is. And you don't realize what it is until much later on, or even the next time you play the game. The two emblems fit neatly into the door. Open it up. Alright. Ooh, look, an item box. You know what? I should probably save the game. Just because it's been a while. Let's save the game quick. And then we can talk about a cool little detail of this, this hallway. Save it with that one. So as you can see, the hallway starts out, you got this very ornate gate. There's some cobwebs. It's kind of just generally dirty here, but it's to be understandable. You got lights and stuff. You got very smooth looking walls, obviously man-made. But as we progress further down into this place, you can see, really interestingly, like here, the walls start to crumble. Everything starts to decay rapidly until you get to down here where the man-made part stops, and then we're just into cave now. There's a really cool visual here where it goes from a kind of, not clean, but cleaner, and as you descend, literally descending, it becomes more primordial, if that makes sense. You go from nice clean walls to cave wall, and this is basically the game's way of saying you're about to enter something horrible. You're descending into the depths of something. Something's about to happen. You're going for the safety of a man-made hallway into a primeval location. So that puts in the idea in your head is wherever I'm going to, and also candles, those are always a good sign. Wherever I'm going to, it's going to be bad. This is the game's way of kind of warning you you're about to get into a fight. Something's going to happen here and it's not going to be good. So prepare yourself. Oh, look who it is. Barry the Betrayer.
Jill, you're alive. I was worried because I thought you were...
Ooh. Nice disarm.
Start talking.
Calm down. I didn't want to do it. Believe me, I can explain.
Don't lie to me.
That gun is huge. Uh-oh. Guess who's back? Eyeball. And tentacles.
No time to talk. Jill, hand me my gun.
And now we have an actual option, whether or not to hand Barry back his gun. We actually have a choice here. I'm just going to spoil it. If you don't give Gary the gun... Gary, damn it. If you don't give Barry his gun back, he dies. He is dead, he will die, and he'll not be in the game anymore. We give him the gun back, he's going to help us during this fight. So, let's do that, and then afterwards I'm going to talk about Lisa, because something very interesting just happened.
Thanks, Jill.
Right, we don't need to fight her. If you remember that note that we read, we need to get rid of the 4 stones. Because remember, Lisa Trevor is essentially invincible. We can shoot her all we want, it's not going to do anything. Thank you, Barry. We need to push these 4 stones off the side. Now, if you're not careful, Barry can actually die during this fight. Lisa can knock him off the edge and kill him. Ooh! He almost knocked her off too. I want to see her climb back up. Nice one, Barry. Right, push this off her. There we go. Well, we defeated Lisa. Kind of. We didn't fight her. She's not dead, by the way. She's not dead. One of the spin-off games kind of shows you. I don't like it though, it's dumb. But yeah, that was Lisa.
I don't believe that thing's really dead. Leave this place up to me and go on ahead.
I trust you completely. So, we just saw a lot of stuff. Obviously, the note that we read before that talked about her mother being in a stone thing with chains and the 4 stones blocking the way. That's your clue to push the stones off the edge to open this sarcophagus. Inside the coffin is a skeleton. Wait, there's something else. Family picture. It's a letter. To my Lisa. Day by day I can feel my consciousness drifting further away. The shots they've given me by the men in white clothes made some of Mommy's itching go away, but today they give me another with shots saying it was nutrition. When they give me the shots, Mommy can think straight, but Mommy's shocked and sad because Mommy's unable to think of you all the time. Mommy's afraid of forgetting everything, especially the memories of you and Daddy, what your faces look like, how we used to be together. They're all starting to disappear into somewhere dark in my mind. Oh Lisa, I wish I could touch your face and hold you in my arms right now, so that I can hold on to our wonderful memories of you and Daddy. Lisa, we can't stay here any longer. We have to escape. Listen to me, Lisa. Our chance to escape is the next time we go to that lab together. We'll both pretend that we're unconscious, and when the man in white clothes is off guard, that will be our chance. When we're on the outside, let's look for Daddy together, okay, sweetie? Be strong. November 13th, 1967. And we can assume, given how the dates line up, that she was disposed of pretty much immediately after that. Maybe she tried to escape, and that's when they disposed of her. However, Lisa, it's very quick, it goes by very quickly, but when Lisa attacks you in that scene, you can see one of the bulges that she had on her back has fully opened up, and you can see an eyeball, and then she sprouts tentacles from her body. Now this is a direct visual reference to Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. Nemesis has the exact same tentacles coming out, and it's also a reference to the G creatures in Resident Evil 2. Because remember, the Birkin and the G creatures have eyeballs popping out of the body. The G virus, it's basically a more advanced version of the T virus. It works, in my opinion, from what you can see, it works kind of like a cancer, where it'll start growing random body parts. So when you look at the creatures, they're growing hair like cancer cells. If you don't know, tumors can grow different parts of bodies, like teeth, hair, eyeballs. All this stuff has been found within tumors. So it kind of works like a cancer where it's just out of control. We'll get more into that if I ever play Resident Evil 2. But the G virus mutates based on where a person's been damaged. They'll start repairing themselves and grow these extra parts. One of the main features is the eyeballs. So there's a direct link with Lisa, the G virus, and Nemesis. And all that is communicated through visuals right now. We'll find a note later on that'll go into it more, but it's such an interesting and really cool way of connecting all of these different games and the different bioweapons together. Lisa's essentially the focal point for a lot of this stuff, and the fact that this was added into the remake is just incredible. Alright. Ooh. There's a big pond here or something. The circular depression is a wolf shift emblem carved inside. Now, if you remember way back, I found some emblems in some books. We need to go get those.